India's batting has been a big trouble for them, specifically in Test cricket. Their play against spin hasn't really been up to the mark, while their play against pace has significantly improved, but there have been occasions where they haven't really had the best of the answers to the likes of South Africa, Australia, and even England. Let's just start with the 2024 tour of South Africa. They did not really have the best of the times with the bat in South Africa. Then against Bangladesh in the opening test in Chennai at home, they struggled against the likes of Nahid Rana and company, and at one stage were 144 for 6 before R. Ashwin bailed them out of a difficult situation. And in the recently concluded test series against New Zealand at home, that India were whitewashed 3-0. Well, India, they struggled against pace in the opening test in Bengaluru. The conditions were overcast. There was a green pitch. And then in the remaining two tests also in Pune and the third and final test in Mumbai, well, India did not have any answers to the spin. Now come the all-important Border-Gavaskar Trophy, India's batting would need a quick turnaround, or rather a quick fix, and that's where WV Raman, a former India cricketer and the former head coach of the India women's national cricket team, has a suggestion for Gautam Gambhir. Well, WV Raman, he feels that I think the team India could benefit if they have the services of Sachin Tendulkar as the batting consultant in their preparation for the Border-Gavaskar Trophy 2025. Enough time between now and the second test. Roping in consultant is rather common these days, worth a thought. And obviously, if we have to go by his last comment, roping in consultants is rather common these days. That's what a lot of overseas teams do when they tour subcontinent. Let's just take the example of Australia. Well, whenever they have toured the likes of India and Sri Lanka and even Bangladesh, they have had Sridhan Sriram as their spin consultant. Then in case of New Zealand, when they toured this time India and Sri Lanka, they had the likes of Rangana Herath in their coaching department. And also in case of South Africa, when they toured India in 2019, they had the domestic stalwart in Amul Mazumdar as their batting consultant. So that's where obviously roping in consultants isn't that new, and India could benefit by having a certain Sachin Tendulkar, who himself scored a total of 6 centuries and over 1800 runs in the Australian conditions in a total of 20 matches or so. But what do the fans really think about WV Raman's comment here? Let's just have a look. Well, one of the fans, he feels that I don't think right now few of our players have already played with Sachin Tendulkar and see him as a teammate rather than as a mentor. The best guy for this job would be a certain Saurav Ganguly or Ravi Shastri. Well, in case of Sachin Tendulkar, obviously the likes of Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, and maybe to an extent a certain Jasprit Bumrah, have played with him. But then overall, if we look at it, most of the guys see Sachin Tendulkar as an inspiration. They really look up to him. They see him as a mentor, and having him in the Indian cricket setup might not really be a big problem. But then we also have to look at it from a broader perspective. And the broader perspective here is that you already have Gautam Gambhir, who is a head coach and can double up as a batting coach as and when it is needed. Same goes with Abhishek Nair, and same can also be said about Ryan Tendulkar, who is also one of India's assistant coaches. So overall, in the coaching department, India have a total of 3 men who can help their batters out. So to add Sachin Tendulkar as the 4th member, would it really be a good move or not? Well, that's anyone's prediction here. Well, also one of the fans feels that would be awesome, but would undercut the batting and head coach, and that's what it has been correctly pointed here. Personally, the only advice I would give is be patient and show temperament, play long and deep, not have to hit every ball. That's a success mantra not many follow, and that's one of the major reasons why a certain Chiteshwar Pujara or a Rahul Dravid have been pretty successful in the Australian conditions. This time around, the challenge is going to be different for India. Well, they would be gunning for a 3rd consecutive series win in the Australian conditions, but then they're coming on the back of a 3-0 whitewash against New Zealand at home. Their batters have faltered, and that's where I think India would need to show some patience, as it has been correctly pinpointed by Citizen KP. And last but not the least, It's presumptive to think that Sachin Tendulkar will be free to do this job. He was a great, no doubt, but I'm not sure he could make a difference in a matter of 3 weeks or so. That is from second test onwards. From all accounts, Abhishek Nair has been good. I think he should continue with him. And that's where I think personally also I feel India should continue with Abhishek Nair. It's just been a while now since he has been appointed as the assistant coach. Well, yes, the big results haven't really gone the Indian cricket team's way. And usually when that happens, a lot of flack usually is gone to the coaching department and to an extent to the players also. But this is where I think it's going to be an important tour for Abhishek Nair and company, and they would really have to make sure that the Indian batters are really at their best come the high octane Border-Gavaskar Trophy. Well, obviously, India do have a lot of firepower in their bowling department. The likes of Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, there could be an addition of Mohammad Shami. He has just played a Ranji match, done really well there. So if he proves his fitness in another couple of matches, he could be brought back into India's test team for this Australia test series. So bowling is not really a worry for India, and that's where I think there's batting who would really need to make sure that they get those big runs. And in this picture, it's going to be the three most important batters for India: Shubman Gill, Yashasvi Jaiswal and Virat Kohli. Well, Kohli has had those big scores in Australia. Shubman Gill, he had a brilliant maiden tour of Australia way back in 2020-2021, while Jaiswal is being tipped to be India's leading run scorer in this series, not just by the fans but by the experts too. What do you think about WV Raman's suggestion of India possibly including a Sachin Tendulkar in their coaching department for the Border-Gavaskar Trophy? You can let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today for all the exciting updates and analysis from the sporting world. Until then, on behalf of my producer Pawan, it's Siddharth Gulati saying goodbye.